Hello everybody, what is up? Andy in front of his green screen that I've for some reason made look like my upstairs game room, here live just for you and for me. What's up everybody, how you doing? Hey, if it's your first time here, don't forget that I will be... Did I hear an echo? No, I think I'm okay. I don't know what that noise was. Okay, in this video, I will vaguely be talking about Kill Team. That tends to be what I do. But perhaps a little bit more focused than usual this time because my thumbnail points are actually Kill Team focused. The win rates, the stats, etc. But in general, I don't ever make a point on these chats. I'm just here to talk to chat because why not? That's what I like to do. But you know, also, I think the point of today's video is... Well, we get into it. We'll get into it after I've said hello to chat. Chat, what is up, everybody? I'm going to now start reading through chat. Obviously, say hello to everybody. Let me know what hobby you're doing. Or if you're not doing hobby, what is your excuse for not doing hobby? My excuse for not doing hobby, in case you're wondering, is that I literally can't do hobby and read chat. I considered it. I was going to do hobby today, but then I was like, if I do hobby, I can't read chat. Or vice versa, if I read chat I can't do hobby will be the thing that actually happens because you know, put my head down ready to hobby and then it's like, oh no, I've got to read chat, and so I will end up doing nothing for 2 hours, and that will then form a feedback loop, somewhat of a hobby Ouroboros. I'll Google that, don't worry, of depression. So, oh, I've got my thing in the wrong place. There we go. For anybody wondering, it's never live streamed on YouTube. The chat function's terrible. It's impossible to keep up with. Hello, Chaos Mistress Kaz. How's it going? I should probably stop calling you Kaz now because you have officially changed to Chaos Mistress. Hello, Dante. Raveners. Yeah, Raveners do seem a bit strong, but you know, they seem good. They seem good. When it comes to stats, they don't yet prove that, but they seem solid, sure. Boba Fett, IG88, what is up? What is up? What is up? What do I think of Corsairs? Yeah, they've taken a bit of a nerf, but they're a solid team. I think they're totally fine to play for anyone interested in them. They're still solid, yeah. They're not OP broken, as they were kind of like 3 months ago. So yeah, good place to play. Because I think... I'm going to just be a total Care Bear here, would be the term, a Care Bear of... If your team's too good, people don't want to play against you. So, you don't want a broken team. That's my take, obviously. If you're in a super sweat meta, where it's just a total arms race, then you do want a sweat team, I guess. But I think Corsairs are in a good place right now. Hello Ian, how's it going? Hello Count Poro, good to see you. Good afternoon, Mechanicoid. Ziva Bola says double hello. Oh my gosh. Hey, if you're in the stream right now, I'd like to give you a subscriber only benefit, and that subscriber only benefit is a big double hello. I did fix the audio. I hope that you guys can hear the audio correctly. I'd messed up the tracks that it was streaming versus recording on, blah blah blah. You should have both audio coming through properly now and my voice at the same time. Fingers crossed. I will have to duck out in a moment as I am awaiting a parcel to arrive, but there you go. Anyway, wasn't that wholesome? Right. Evening all. How are you doing this fine evening? Good, thank you. It's warm. It's warm. I'm not gonna lie, it's still warm. It's not nearly as bad as it was over the weekend though, so I will survive. You need to hobby? Yes, you do. Hello, Kiwi Commander. Typhon. Nice. Gotta be done. Gotta be done. Agreed. Agreed. Oh, where we go? Prepping for your lifeguard license renewal. That's exciting. Very nice. Ogres for D&D. Love it. And shopping for exploding crabs. Of course. You know. Why wouldn't you? Mice and Dice. Hello from Flow Rider. Currently playing Higher Tech. Love it. I assume you'll be done in about 5 minutes, right? Bam bam. Spray 'em black. Dry brush 'em. Done. Necron army. Done. I've actually been building and painting kill teams and Warcry sets. Great, as you should be. That's all you're allowed to paint on the channel of Glass Half Dead. Good, kill team. My hobby has been making EC, Emperor's Children, floor displays using 3D printed, possessed, and EC bits. Very cool. The flawless blades, I haven't seen them in person, so I can't really comment. But I guess they'd be fine. If you like Emperor's Children, I'm sure they're fine. But they're a specific style of Slanesh and EC, and I can definitely see some people wanting something else. Tabletop Impulse says, good evening, Andy. Hello, good evening. I'm hobbing Shatterpoint models once again. Green screening yourself onto a very ordinary place is funny to me. Yes, I just saw your Shatterpoint thing. I'm surprised that a bunch of the things are coming out in the UK before the US. That's interesting, isn't it? Because Asmodee traditionally doesn't really service the UK particularly well, is my understanding. Perhaps the solution is to have someone there with you reading the chat and helping you engage with your community. Yes, Adrian, that is how a more professional person would do it. But who's going to do that? You know, like, it doesn't really make any sense. And frankly, if there's someone here that is willing to read chat for me, they can probably just do the interacting themselves while you watch the master hobbyist very quickly Seraphim Sepia and then dry brush Wraithbone a model. You know, never seen that one before, have you? Vespid buffs. Vespid are one of the teams I'm contemplating. Yeah, I know that Orion just did acceptably well with them. Only took one loss in a 5-rounder, so it's pretty cool. Danny remade it. Well done, well done. Trying to paint. Yeah, it's terrible. I agree. But you've got a Kaz to do. You did, unfortunately, GG. You just missed the double hello. It's very sad. You can watch back. Oh, or you just got it. Okay. Need to try the Sprugu thing, which I'd known. Oh, you see, this is why hobby videos are so weird. Like, that trick has been around for years, and various other channels have done, you know, this is Sprugu. I remember it's probably a year ago, 2 years ago now, where just it seemed like every channel, you know, one big channel did it, and then all, like, you know, a dozen other small channels said, oh, that's cool, and copied it. So to me, it's like, oh, everybody knows that trick. But yeah, interesting. Audio sounds good, thank you. Good to know, good to know. Just in time for the double wholesomeness from Leaks Feeks. That's how far behind I am the chat. Great, thank you. I always love these markers for how slow I am. Brewster's Minions, howdy folks / Andy. Hello, Bruce. Live unboxing of the parcel. It's a camping chair, so that'd be interesting, I suppose. Unfortunately, I do not have my my top-down cam set up. I did, however, just buy a new camera, you know, webcam type thing, not a proper DSLR. I don't have that kind of money, Jesus. Which will be probably some sort of, I've got to set it up first, but then show the patrons what it does and why I bought, justify to them who donated their money so that I could buy it, why I bought that instead of something more useful, or did something with my life, I don't know. But the patrons will get that at some point. Chase, yo to you. Uncle Sanguine, how many kill teams is too many kill teams to own? There is no upper limit, if we're being honest. So how many teams do we have? What, 38? At 40? Are we at 40 now? I think we might be at 40, which is cool. But then, like, sometimes I just want to do like a hobby project, you know, and just do another kill team. Not because I want to play that kill team even, just because I want to, like, oh, I mean, I just started, I'm doing, I've got a Wrecker crew. I want to do Red Orcs, so I'm doing another one. I've had an idea for a Grey Knight team that's going to be Aims of Death, so I'm doing that. So I have more kill teams than there are kill teams in the game. And I suspect that goes for many people, not just me. But of course, before we go any further, I must say, It's time to Hydratus Dominatus, everybody. I am very thirsty. Oh, have I done the thing where I'm really low down again? Hold on. Whoops. Hold on. There we go. I apologise. I mean, I am short, but I'm not that short, right? Today, everybody, we have a lovely pineapple from Bar. Bar, in case you don't know, I didn't know, are the guys that do Iron Brew in the UK. Scotland. You never know with the Scottish. You got to credit them correctly, otherwise they'll have you. Hello to Evil Bear Skirmish. I'm at 14 uncles. Oh, okay. Right. Uncle Sanguine. Gotcha. Hobby-wise, finish the Plague Boys. Any advice as to what next? OD to face Death Guard, Wrecker Boys, or the less models? Ravenous. It's a tough one. Well, I can say that I, on Friday, played my Plague Marines into somebody else's Raveners, and my Plague Marines got stomped. So consider that. Maybe you want to take those Raveners out for a spin. You know, I really just thought, they're -1 to hit me. I'll be fine. I'll win every melee. I did not. Turns out if they roll 2 crits and a hit, doesn't matter that they're -1 to hit. Who knew? Who knew? I also made some very poor plays, but there you go. What can you do? But I suppose if I had to say anything, it would be Angels of Death, wouldn't it? Yeah. What I like about Flawless Blaze is they look like those elite tool knights in Dark Souls. I don't play Dark Souls. I do not like Dark Souls games. And so I actually do not know what you mean. I'm not a Dark Souls lore nerd, which is weird because I'm a big gamer, but I've just always bounced off Dark Souls because obviously it's a hard game and I am not a good player of games. Cargo Culture says, hot off painting all the trim on my Legionaries. It's now painting all the trim on my Aquilons. Ooh, Trim King. Hell yeah. No, I hate it. I hate doing trim. It took me so long to paint my Aquilons trim. They don't even look good. The team doesn't even look good. But that trim took like longer than the rest of the box combined. I am in fact building the box that released in the UK today. Oh, well, there you go. Finally, AMG have not uploaded the instructions to the website, so I'm flying blind. I think for AMG, I built all of their stuff without instructions as well. But normally, they're pretty good. So yeah, they normally group together on the sprue pretty well, so you can kind of figure out what's what without too much issues. Likelihood of Hota buffs. Oh, why would they get buffed? They're doing okay, aren't they? I mean, they're not doing great. You know what? We'll probably see when we look at the stats, I imagine. Hello from Chicago. Hello from England. Hello. Show us the camping chair. Sure. I bought the camping chair for the game room, actually, because I don't have any chairs in there. There's no way to sit down. And it occurred to me that sometimes you do need to relax. But naturally, I wanted a way for someone to just, you know, put their drink off the table so you don't smash it, and just away next to you so you can get it. The only type of chair I can find that does that is a camping chair, so I bought padded camping chairs. There you go. I have no aesthetic taste or discipline or desires, if you can't tell. Yeah, I will be using camping chairs indoors. Major Tom says, greetings and salutations. Hello, Major Tom. Of course you don't have that kind of money, Andy. You collect Warhammer. Very true. If I didn't collect Warhammer, I would have much more money. I also would not require a camera. So I would have additionally even more money there. You're not low down. That's just normal height, right? Oh, Jin. Yes, hello, hello. Damn, you beat me to the short joke. You see, I beat you by about 10 minutes with how far behind chat I am, yeah. The new combat controls look worth a few shekels. The Tyrannus box seems good. Yeah. So I thought the new Tyrannus box seemed relatively acceptable, because those Hive Guard are expensive, and but they're old. But fine, I guess. Fine. But they're old models, so it's good that they get bundled with something so that you can buy them, but not RRP. But then as soon as I looked on Facebook, there was the post from 40k saying, you know, here are the combat patrols. Like the top comment was you know, whatever. It was like, oh, these combat patrol, terrible. You just threw in anything that wasn't selling, didn't you? I really don't think they do. I'd be very interested to know if they do, but I really don't think that's what the combat patrols are. You know? Navy breaches you own look awesome, Andy. Thank you, Eddie. I assume you got that from one of the Patreon videos I recently posted and you caught up with. Aquilons don't have that much trim, do they? Or did I miss loads? I mean, they've just got the normal trim. They've got trim all over their body and their shoulder pads and their head. I guess they don't have leg trim. You might be correct there. Yeah, they're almost getting combat patrol as cool as Spearhead now. You think? Oh. Well, I'm glad that we're pro combat patrol. Although I will argue against the Space Wolves, right? Sorry, I can... Oh, I actually forgot to sort out my my stuff. There we go. Will that turn up? Will that work? Yes, lovely. We can look at it as I complain about it, can't we? Here we go. Shrinkify me, we go here. These Wolfen models, how old do you think these Wolfen models are? Are they still fine cast? Or did they redo these in plastic? They can't be fine cast. They would not have put fine cast in this box. So, Warhammer Wolfen models. How old are these? What do we think? Don't know where it's going to tell me. But yeah, they're clearly plastic, obviously. But my god, they do not hold up with the rest of the box, in my opinion. Anyway, it is what it is. I wish Kaskin were something better. Yeah, Kaskin are a bit dull. Bit dull this edition. I think, if I may critique Kill Team a smidge, and not in a major way, really, but I do feel like in this edition, and maybe this is just something that I noticed, but they were doing it last edition as well, that they really made sure that every single team has a way to get rerolls, which is fine, makes sense. But now, I feel like step one of figuring out what kill team to play or how to play that kill team is, how do I get my reroll, right? Because in almost every situation, getting a reroll is better than anything else you can possibly do. Almost. So, you know, that's in a sense, almost a touch bland. Like, yeah, when every team gets a reroll, and the best way to learn to play the team is how do I get that reroll? Okay, I'm now going to play the team based around that. Is normally the best way to play the team, I feel. Is that good? I don't know. Just thoughts and feelings, vibes. Nothing I'm saying for real there, but just my initial take. I bet that short joke went over your head. It did, mate. I agree. I played 2 more matches with Raveners this past weekend into both Orc teams as part of a narrative event. I won both games and tabled the records on BD. So far the team is feeling really strong. It's an interesting one as to whether or not the record crew have the raw stats they need to deal with Raveners. How are you dealing with them? Because you're not really a very good shooting team. So you can't just take advantage of their main weakness, which is shooting. So you have to deal with them in melee. I don't know. I mean, how did you feel? Did you feel threatened by the record crew? I can see it being a bit of an easy one, right? Perhaps. Perhaps. Lot of melee there. Oh, the delivery driver's turned up. I can see on my Ring camera, so I'm gonna have to go answer that in a moment. There you go. Oh, all right. Well, everybody, make sure you Hydratus Dominos. Right. Well, this is going to be awkward. I'm going to walk away from the screen now. I'll be back in like a minute. Okay, I'm back. Right. I also changed because I was burning up. I was getting a bit cold before I went on stream, so I swapped to that. Oh, way too much. yeah. Well, you know, Plastic Kid, I'm taking after the best, right? That's how you make the big bucks. Big bucks. Yeah, nice. Right, where was I? Sorry. Playing a lot of Combat Patrol lately in the Crusade I'm in, and I'm surprised at how well it is balanced. Like Death Guard, who are notoriously slow, but get the only Combat Patrol Rhino. Yeah. I really can't talk too much about Combat Patrol. I played like 3 games and then never touched it again, as I think most people did. It's definitely less of a game than Spearhead. I will be curious to see what they do going forwards in the next edition for it. I don't know though. I don't know. Did I say my conspiracy theory? No, I'll probably do a video on it at some point. But in general, I think that Combat Patrol, you know, we've got these MDF sheets for Kill Team. I reckon they are going to go into the Combat Patrol, like as they're going to make more of a thing of Combat Patrol, because obviously Spearhead has had a lot of good press. But I don't think you're going to get plastic terrain, but terrain is so important for 40k that you have to have some terrain. So I reckon they're going to go with the MDF terrain. Maybe different stuff than Kill Team has, or the same stuff that Kill Team has, and make that how you play Combat Patrol. So it's a little bit more terrain focused. Yeah, I don't know. There you go. And that's how they will make it a proper game. Of course, the real issue is that a little bit sad, really, but it's the game they've got. All of the ranges in 40k are ridiculous. Like, they're larger than the board, you know. So you kind of have to have that terrain so where you are artificially shortening ranges. Whereas if you look at, like, for example, War Machine, and I only use War Machine because I know it, your gun range might be 9 inches, and that's it. And that's a long range gun, you know. I think the longest range in the game is 14, you know. So you're really able to play with threat ranges, and you don't need balls of a certain variety. There you go, and denseness. I would like that. I would like some shorter ranges, but they won't do that, and they probably shouldn't. So that's fair. The Black Templar Combat Patrol one is awesome. I've started from scratch. I'll be all over it. It is a good one, isn't it? I like this. So you've got your Blade Guard. That's a great kit, by the way. You've got your Neophytes, and you've got your dudes. I'm very good at their names, aren't I? Sword Brethren. Yeah, really like them. I agree. Very good one. Even if you're not starting fresh, these are like all units you would love to have more of, I feel. You know? Bought the Gloomtide Shipwreck after seeing it on this channel. I'm happy to make you make as poor financial decisions as me. Anytime. I want the wolf to convert into proxy Felgor. Oh, that's a fun idea, Evil Bear. Yeah, okay, I can see that. It's good to turn every kill team's a marine kill team if you try hard enough, you know. I had heard somewhere that GW never open up boxes to take out the product and pack them in other boxes. Literally not worth the wages of the box openers, just bin one product and then print more. Sure, I can imagine it. Yeah, I mean, we all know the cost of plastic is negligible, so they don't really care, do they? I would assume. Yeah. Gloom-Tide Shipwreck is really cool. Good. What are you being delivered? GW? No, this was camping chairs, Kiwi Commander. Any new teams announced? No, Robert B. Not today. That will be Friday's news. I will be doing a stream on Friday because that sounds pretty hype. I've already made the thumbnail for it, but I haven't put it up on the channel yet. So I'll be doing, when does it go? It's 7 PM. So I'll probably go live at 6:30, sort of thing. And then I will basically end the stream as soon as their stream ends so that I can then do a proper video. That's just a bit of fun because they, GW, in case you don't know, tends to use copyrighted music in their live streams. So on YouTube, you can't monetize that. You can't make any money off it. So it is literally just for fun. So yeah, there you go. That'll be fun. But it'd be fun to do a little live watch party of that. Presumably we're getting Necrons and Deathwatch. That'd be cool. And then I would immediately stop the stream and go record a video because that's the thing that will actually get views. There you go. I'm considering it. I might not. I might drop that idea. Lifetime reaction, indeed. Like a pro. Hey guys, just joined in. Finally managed to get Nemclaw. Any tips on playing with them? Charge forwards. Fight. Done. Poison the middle objective. Ventriloquar has a 6-inch bubble. Doesn't need visibility. Just make the enemy run into the middle of the board. There you go. That's Nemclaw. Done. There was terrain with the boxes in 3rd ed. That is quite a stretch back there, Jens. But you're right. I suppose. Yes. It wasn't enough terrain though, was it? You know? Like, Age of Sigmar gets a pass because it basically doesn't need terrain. Really. It's not a game that is heavily balanced around terrain. Whereas 40k 100% needs terrain to function. So you need like something a little bit more dense maybe. I'm not arguing they're doing combat patrol right. I'm just surprised at how fun it is as that midpoint between skirmish scale for local air 40k. Yeah, okay, great. Glad to hear it. I had to play KG. They threw a lot of dice in shooting. Oh, okay. Alright, fair enough. I used a fair amount of the silent shooting and used my Venom Spitter to melt anything that dared to take a shot. I had 3 models left. So you had over half your team left. You know, let's phrase that correctly. Why did you need to shoot them? They're 12 wounds? They're 12 wounds. You kill them in 3. Yeah, okay, I guess. Sure. Alright, fair play. Would be neat to get a Harlequin combat patrol. Well, who knows what's coming, right? Like, they had the Jester hat. It's one of the hats. It could be Harlequins. And that could be for Kill Team. Could be the mimes, as people have speculated. It is easier to find a 40k game than Kill Team. Thinking about learning 40k for that reason. Alex, it's so meta dependent. It depends, not like, it's not even in the same city. It'd be the local game store you go to, you know? So, yeah, purely down to you. However, just in general, a lot more people do play 40k than play Kill Team. So, and I always say the best game you can play is a game you can actually get games of. So if you just had to, without doing any research, should I, the number one issue is I want to play games. Should I go Kill Team or 40k? The answer has to be 40k. However, maybe your local game store happens to be one of those 40k black spots where it's just like, bizarrely, nobody plays it here. This is an AMG store. We only play Star Wars Legion. I was like, ah, oh, damn. So I don't know. I think that, you know, 40k is not a bad game. It's a very specific type of game, and if you gel with that type of game and the people around you are nice people, 40k can be great. Kill Team's probably kind of the more modernly designed game, which a lot of people would argue makes it a better game as well. But yeah, it's all personal taste. Harlequin Combat Patrol that includes all the units that you need for a Void Dancer troop. Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be nice, I agree, yeah. Well, in fairness, they only have like 4 units, so they probably would have to include those, literally, yeah. A Harlequin Combat Patrol, oh, sorry, I just read that. Local Kill Team Club is Friday, so it's going to be funny to have the new teams get announced mid-game. That'd be exciting though, right? Like, or for me, it wouldn't be. It'd be like, oh, I'm playing Aliens to Death, this is so cool. Death Watch. I hate Aliens to Death now. I'm not going to play the game until I get Death Watch in my hands. That's going to be me, to be clear. I know that we've just had Typhon release, right? A few weeks ago now. And so we're now in the downtime. We're now in the downtime between releases. But we're going to know soon, this Friday, what we get in the next box. And if it is Necrons versus Deathwatch, I'm going to feel so sad playing the teams that I can play now, because I want to play those teams. Which is not something I would have said if we'd been hit with Blood and Zeal, right? Like, they sucked. I don't want to play them. So we shall see. Raveners, I was hyped for them. Yeah, we shall see. John Coleman says, as a Wrecker player, best play is all shooting except for the Demolisher. They just don't have enough melee strength to fight Raveners and trading one for an explosion, especially if you can get Crusher. Yeah, I know that logically, obviously you want to shoot Raveners. I've never really tried to play an all Wrecker ranged team, you know? Don't know how it would go. We're never getting mimes at this point, and that's purely to spite me. Yes, Major Tom, it is. I spoke to G-Dubs the other day. I said, no mimes for Major Tom. And they said, okay. We'll put those models back in the press. There's a Harlequin Combat Troll, but it's a White Dwarf team. Oh, okay. I can't figure they drop a box team for it, sadly, with Eldari being the catch-all factor of them now. I'm basically on your team there, Drastone. I don't think there's going to be a Harlequin Combat Patrol, but then why would they wear the Jester hat, right? Is it going to be there is one new character model for Harlequins in 40k? Is that it? That sucks. That's boring. We don't need a summer preview for that, right? That's not worthy of a hat. Is it a mime? Is it Harlequin team? Because we're losing Harlequins. Do they want to give us a Harlequin team? I don't know. Lived in a couple of places where the 40k playbase was totally toxic. In Vegas now, people are pretty chill. Yeah, it can happen with any game, you know. And 40k, being the biggest game, is also the most likely to, you know, attract that sort of person. So, yeah, it makes sense. It's not everywhere, though, you know, to clarify. Like, there are a lot of lovely 40k players. Elpori Pokemon, thanks for the stream, mate. I see you. Nice to see you too, Elpori Pokemon. Cargo Culture says, thoughts on making Kill Team more like Necromon or vice versa? I want Necromunda to have an arena release. Arena, let's call it arena. Could be the pit, could be gladiator, whatever. Which is basically stripped down Necromunda. So it's almost like a single book. None of the weird, crazy things that from every single house book and all these weird ways to play. Give me all the teams, very limited war gear selection, you know, super basic weapons, super basic equipment. Pitch it as the beginner way to play Necromunda, or the beginner way to, or the competitive way to play Necromunda, whatever you want to call it, however you want to market it. But let me play the core rules of Necromunda in an easier to understand and digest format. That's what I would like, because I actually like the core rules of Necromunda. I think it's a nice little system. However, all the weird, bizarre stuff you can do and the equipments you can take to make it kind of funky is too much. And it turns me off from the system. So I would like a restricted system that I could jump into, and it could also then at the same time not only be the beginners, the babies version, the Care Bear version of Necromunda, using the core rules but just extremely stripped down and limited. It could then also actually end up being enter the tournament system at Warhammer World. So Warhammer World, in case you don't know, does tournaments for like every game. They even do combat patrol and spearhead tournaments, right? But they do not do any Necromunda events at all. It feels like that's a bit of a misstep. I do not think they will do that, to be clear. But there you go. I'm excited for the new box. It will be my first full Kill Team box. The new box that we don't know what it is yet, do you mean? Kiwi, you might be jumping the gun a bit there. We don't actually 100% know that it's Deathwatch and Harlequins on a Necron kill zone. We don't know that yet, right? It could be anything. I mean, if it is those two, I have two new teams. I really want that build. That would be amazing. I do agree. Jason, what is your recommendation for a Kill Team army for a noob to get into playing tabletop? Ooh, Angels of Death. There you go. No questions asked. Angels of Death are the best beginner kill team to start the game with. They're nice and durable. There's only 6 models, and they're all relatively similar. And then if you find them interesting, you can expand out, get a little bit funky with them, but it is totally acceptable to run 1 captain, 5 assault intercessors, and learn the game that way. That way, you've only got 2 unit sheets to understand. I think that is the actual best way to start playing Kill Team. You're almost taking this edition of Kill Team and making your own version of Compendium Kill Team from last edition, which was a great little way to get started in Kill Team. So there you go. Is that the Deathwatch ones? No, there are no Deathwatch ones. Angels of Death they're in the starter set alongside the Plague Marines. Plague Marines are a little bit more complex than the Angels of Death. But yeah, if you buy the Kill Team Star set, you get the Angels of Death team. Down bad for the Clown Elves. Hell yeah, my man. Hell yeah. Die Lie. Alternative to Jester have more time. Oh. I suppose. I mean, yeah, I guess. That would be a stretch. Hydratus Dominatus to Academic Chris for $1.99. Thank you. Too kind, sir. Too kind. As you are clearly here right now, I will let you know if I do live stream on Friday, please no donations because I cannot monetize that stream. Your money will go straight to YouTube, so don't do that. There you go. Thank you. Hydratus Dominatus. Unfortunately, it is too warm for me to wear any of my Hydratus Dominatus t-shirts at the moment, but I will get back to those when I can. What are we talking about? I don't know. I'm reading chat. To be honest with you, at some point, we're going to talk about the stats. I'll go to the stat screen. Yeah, I imagine there'll be a way it's Necrons and Deathwatch, or a what the F? It's Thousand Suns versus an Inquisitorial Retinue across. Yeah, I know, that'd be great. In fairness, a Thousand Suns team I wouldn't complain about because I do ultimately like Marines. Thousand Suns are Marines. Ooh, this was Zangor only. Ooh, that would be a kick in the dick, wouldn't it? Gonna be fun regardless. I'm a bit late, just arrived. Hello. Never played Necron. Is it similar to Kill Team? No. No, it really isn't. In any way, shape or form. In fact, the more I think about it, the less similar it is to Kill Team. They are completely different games. The only crossover is that there aren't as many models on the board as there are in 40k. Nothing else is the same. Yeah, literally nothing else. There you go. We ain't sure if it will be Deathwatch. We are not, that is true. Correct, I'm only getting it for the Killzone equipment, possible updated mission cards. That's a good idea. I'd forgotten. We are, of course, assuming there will be a new approved ops. Will we get that? Will it basically be Hivestorm Part 2? I would like that, actually. I would like Hivestorm Part 2. I would like a new big box, big entry, if you know what I mean, to the hobby every year. I would like that. However, that is not what they've done in the past, is it? They've done kind of a new season box. So it will be 2 teams bundled with the new Killzone. And then in 3 months' time, the Killzone will release alongside everything else. I'm assuming we're getting that again. Yeah. Which I am ultimately excited for a new Killzone, though. Can't lie. Do you think we get a narrative box this season? No. I have no reason to think that. I don't think we will. There you go. We have an announcement when? This Friday at 7 PM my time. I think GW needs an official Kill Team video game. I think it would work perfectly. They already have one. It's an old mobile game where you play some Death Watch. Nothing to do with the current edition of Kill Team. But yes, obviously they should do something with the game. Agreed. Ziva Balance, what did I get? Monetize what we can. Thank you so much. A Hydratus Dominatus to you as well, my good sir. You're all too generous. Thank you. Hydratus Dominatus. It will go towards more gear for the channel. In case you're not aware, all this ad money, all this Patreon money, I eventually buy stuff that is way more expensive than it should be for my channel. It will be a new camera, or it will be something. So you're too generous, sirs. You're too generous. Hope you can do a Friday stream. We shall play it by ear. I have nothing else on, but we will see. We will see. Unsure. The 18th, did they announce stuff for us on this Friday? Yes, Timothy, they do. 100% they will be announcing something Kill Team. We just don't know what. But of course, you've watched my previous videos where I tell you what it probably is. I'll likely be prepping for a narrative event I'm running on Friday, so might not get the chance to watch live. That's fair enough. In fairness, I've always found the live stream to be a little bit disappointing, and I get just as good of a feeling just checking out Warcom afterwards. But the way it normally works, because I've got to remember for my content creation, right? So I watch the live stream, so that if they actually say anything in person that doesn't get repeated in the article, I can say, oh, they said this in the live stream. And then they normally post better pictures on Instagram and or Facebook. So I've got to check those once those go up. And I then have to read the article. So I will not do that though, because as we all know, if you're not first, you're last. So I'm just going to read the article. There you go. I would totally play an Inquisition team. For some reason, I have almost all of the Inquisitor models. Okay, you're in. Do it. Oliver Hines says, Necro has like Blood Bowl elements of everything can go wrong, and there's lots of campaign progression, injuries and stuff. Yes, I think for many people, Necromunda is more about what happens outside of the game than what happens in the game. That is not how I view it. Injuries and stuff are super fun, for sure. But I think the game mechanics aren't bad. I hate pinning, but the game mechanics aren't bad, aside from pinning. Per the video yesterday, are you actually concerned that Deathwatch isn't coming to Kill Team due to the Dawn of War box? No, I think that Deathwatch are coming to Kill Team. But it would be hilarious if the only thing that Kill Team got announced was a new, worse starter box. I would respect the game, is all I'm saying. You know, like, good troll, I like it. Why can't we get some Chaos Demon kill? Dustin, we don't even know what GW wants to do with demons. But we should get one. I've already told you what I want mine. What our demon team should be. We should get Sons of Bellicor, or Scions of Bellicor, sorry. And they should be all in Bellicor's image, but from all the different, you know, it should be a kill team that has demons all kind of drawn from the different Chaos gods. It would be fire. Demon fire. Warp fire? Is that a Warhammer thing, or have I been playing too much Warcraft? I'm playing Warcraft at the moment. The Frozen Threat, of course. I only picked up Hivestorm recently, and a 2025 equivalent is what I'm hoping for, but I think they're skip the approved ops and equipment. Yeah. I don't think we're getting Hivestorm Part 2. I think we're getting, you know, Beta Decima. What was it called when it released? It was just called Beta Decima, wasn't it? No, they didn't even do it for Beta Decima. You had to buy... I can't remember how it worked. Moving on. Let's not think about Beta Decima too much. I already said it. Oh, and then League Speaks goes on to talk about exactly what I was then thinking about. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking more about the first season, and then the second season with Into the Dark, which was a weird season, to be fair. Yeah, we shall see. Phobos with a 52.48% win rate. Apparently Phobos are doing incredibly well, to be fair. Like, they're a very top tier team. Debating on purchasing the new Black Templar Combat Patrol, do you have any idea on what an Emperor's Champion can be converted in? Does he come in that? He does. Like all good men, he comes in the box. Great. So, he's a natural lieutenant, right? Like, he's just... Put him on a 32 mil base, he's a lieutenant. Keep him on a 40 mil base, he's a captain. What more do you need to do? Why do you need to change him? He has a big sword. He can be a butcher. He can be a skin thief. He can be any dude with a sword. I don't, yeah. Seems like an easy one, you know? For those across the pod, Friday Tea stream is around this time. It's half an hour before my stream normally starts. If we go here, we type in summer. It'll be here. Whatever these times are. Oh yes, JST, of course. I don't know what any of these are, to be clear. But these are the times. I'm here, 7 PM BST, British summertime. You are whatever these are. This is half an hour before I normally go live. Back to the stats. Love a good stats screen behind me. Makes me feel big brain, you know? Mate, Tom, have a league game Friday. My Void Dancers versus Nemcor, so I won't see the stream. Fair play, fair play. You'll be having the same experience as everybody else in that case of finding out about the awesome Death Watch and Necrons mid-game. And suddenly being incredibly disappointed by the teams that you have to play until then. Kill Team Ken says, the only way to enjoy live stream is live with GHD. Also, fingers crossed for more Space Marines. I can't imagine we don't get more Space Marines, right? Wow, we're already getting the terrible Dark Angels team. Who knows when that's coming out either. Tyranus needs some love. Terror. Tyranus just got loving. Like, you might be being, I don't want to point fingers, but you might be being a touch greedy. You just had the first Tyranid terrain in plastic ever. And new models. I'm just saying, even Space Marines aren't that greedy. But then it is very Tyranid coded to be, you know, uncontrollable biomass, right? Fair play. I'm a Space Marine guy, but I do like the look of the World Eaters, Blood for the Blood God. Yes, fair. I like the Khorne Berserkers because they're Space Marines, but some of them just have their biceps out, just like, you know, just roided out, just like, hey man, I was thinking, you know, sun's out, guns out. What do you think? And Angron's like, the nails. And then he's like, yeah, okay, cool, Angron, sweet. I'm just gonna have my arms out. Like, what a Chad. That guy fucks. We know that. Wrecker crew needs some help. Yeah, I will say I was surprised to not see. Well, we're getting. I thought it would have been perfect for the FAQ errata, but maybe they'll be getting it in the buff, in the patch next week. think, is when we assume it's coming. An actual official buff instead of, we've added a rule. You know, you can, whatever it is, whether it's adding a rule to fighters that can open the doors for free or whatever they're going to do. Yeah, who knows? They need help in one specific map. I agree. That new starter set is very sad. Not the full range of minis for those teams. And also even less of the already kind of lame terrain. Makes sense in terms of bookstore shelf footprint, but still sad. I have no issues with the MDF terrain. I don't know why anybody does. I think it's very good, very functional. Does what it should do. Allows you to play the game in a game where you need terrain. I don't know, man. I love the MDF terrain. Have I played on it? No. Please, how dare you? Don't question me. But yeah, the 5 models, I don't know. But you know, hey, maybe some people will get into it and then convert over to playing Kill Team, and you know, sucks to be them, I guess. Chimerix Project Waves. Hello to Chimerix Project. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry guys, I bought the Hearthkin win rate down this weekend. Lol, 1-4 in a GT. Joshua, we need more losers in this game. You know, I can't hold the fort myself, right? I can't lose every game I play and be the only person that does that. Other people have to lose games too. You and me, my man. Hell yeah, rock on. And indeed, hopefully that will mean buffs for the teams we play. Low, hello, low. Lol, yes. Being an elite team at 2 APL is rough. Yeah, it's real rough. I agree. I agree. They need a buff. I agree. Lol. Vespers need some more love. They need something. Yeah, they need some way to shuffle some APL around. But then, arguably, if you can shuffle some APL, maybe they have to take back some of the other buffs they got, right? Oh yeah, the stats. I'm surprised the goal markers are below 50%. Oh. I've noticed. I'll look at the stats at some point, probably. I'm almost caught up with chat. So Friday, new starter, and next week, all elite teams down to 5 bodies. Entirely possible, right? Like, it was a thing that a lot of people were saying at the beginning of the edition, like the first 6 months of the game. A lot of people were saying elite teams should go to 5 bodies. Now, at the top end, that probably means that all top players who want to go grind those ICT points will stop playing elites. But at my level, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I can actually beat AOD now. Oh, what do we think? Do we think next balance patch we're finally getting the big dueler nerf? I reckon. So Friday, new starter. I think all they need to do with dueler is say that I don't know, maybe just like it can be used once per turn. Yeah, once per turn. It's still very powerful, but then each bullet point can only be used once per turn. There you go. It will probably mean people won't take it anymore, but it's still so good, people probably will take it. It's my hot take. Yes, Kenny, elites to 7 models. That's what we need. That's what we need. They're really suffering in the stats. Really suffering. Let's have a quick look at the stats there. Oh, elite. Elite's right at the top there. A solid 8% above any other team. Warp Coven. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. So Friday new starter. Yeah. My problem is the MDF terrain is not great once you're past basic rules. Can't really sub in for Volcus or Gallo Dark, obviously. I disagree. I think it's like... It cannot be made to be Volcus, but I do not think it is bad in any way. From a gameplay perspective. From a hobby perspective, there is no hobby, obviously, but... I think you'd be totally fine living on the MDF terrain, like far beyond just I'm a beginner, I don't know what I'm doing. Legit. People's fear of goremongers seems to be massively outside of the actual performance. Well, there's a lot to say about goremongers actually. Goremongers are a very interesting team when it comes to our stats. So at some point I will probably talk about that. At least 7 models indeed. Just make every team broken, problem fixed. They already are, aren't they? I feel they are. I have a whole YouTube short series of me telling you how broken they all are. 5 bodies would feel more codex compliant. That is the other thing as well, of course. Like in 40k, they're all 5 model teams. Maybe we need to buff elites to 10 so that we're codex compliant, right? No and no. I hope they make you choose an option or the other for dueler. It's too strong as a team wide at every fight ability. Yes, it is. I agree. We shall see. They need to do something to dueler. Or maybe they don't. We're coming up to 9 months. In Kill Team. They have very, very clearly tried their absolute best to not change AOD and Plague Marines. Because they are the starter teams. They made a small change to Plague Marines. Is now when we finally get the nerf to AOD. What do you think? MDF terrain is the path to beer league terrain, so it works for casual. The path to beer league terrain. I actually don't know what you mean by that, Chimera Project. However, that's fine. Yeah. I think it's good. It's not even beer league. It's good terrain. I'm actually really surprised that people don't like the MDF terrain. Yeah. I'm more afraid of the church staff than the Blood Boys. That's very fair. I think everyone is. I want to be the most meta chaser, how to read better these stats for the competitive players and how to pick the best team. I wonder if we will see more MPOs. I want to be random stuff around the house, use this trick. Oh, okay, I'm with you. Yes. It is better than that, I suppose. Yeah. But you see, you can't slide that diss past me. Anytime somebody in Kill Team ends their sentence with, it's a good narrative thing, it's like, okay, that means you think it's shit, right? It's good for casual, it's good for narrative. It's like, okay, so you hate it, I see. I'm just going to throw it out there. I really don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's just good for casual. I really don't think it's just good for narrative. I think it is a very, very acceptable terrain set that hypothetically you never need to move on from. I think it is that solid. Because it's just a bunch of L shapes. So like, and there's a lot of it. So you can do almost anything with it, you know? But yeah, good narrative terrain, sure. What team is stronger than Aquilons or Raveners? I think that's the best way for me to choose which team. Oh, Raveners is above them. Okay, I think this chooses for me. I wonder if we'll see more joint ops rules or some MPO stuff. I hope we get narrative rules. Yes. Well, I mean, we get narrative rules every quarter, so I assume we will. I played on the starter set scenarios with it work fine and communicate very basic concepts. In my experience, graduating people for that setting into approved ops is really difficult. Oh yeah, and 100%. But I don't think that's the terrain's issue. That's the core game. If you've got starter set, joint ops, approved ops, then that works. Approved ops is a lot to learn. Yeah. Like, I know that on YouTube, we're all about, you know, oh, you got to go play approved ops. If you're not playing that, kill yourself in a video game. But approved ops is so much more to think about and understand. I genuinely think it should not be being pushed as the primary way to play. It's the tournament competitive way to play, and of course online that means you're playing it. But like, if I went to my local game store and there were just 2 people playing Kill Team for fun, I would be surprised if they are actually playing approved ops, you know? I'm balls deep in Kill Team, so obviously I have to play approved ops. But I genuinely think that the game is more fun not playing approved ops. There you go. Hot. Okay. Because it's a hot room, so anything I say right now is hot. Give us the elite ECKT with special weapons of whips, chains, and lube. I'd be down for it. Can't lie. Because I actually just bought some EC. Which was a huge mistake, but I got into an idea, as you know, whatever. And I built 5 Tormentors and 5 whatever the other ones are. So I have those now, so I'd be down for it. Speaking of narrative, the adversary ops is a lot of fun. It helps break that chess match style of game in a head-to-head game. Agreed. Haven't played it, but anything to mess with the head-to-head. Indeed, always a good thing. We mainly play the mission in the books that came with a star set and play light rules. You're probably having more fun than 90% of people in this chat. Definitely having more fun than me. Whoa, okay, that sounds, sorry, that was just a standard issue self-deprecating joke. I don't have any issue with Kill Team, just to be clear. Just to be clear. Really, I've never seen or heard of people not playing improved ops. That's because you're online. And that's because everybody... no, sorry, maybe I phrased myself wrong. I'm saying we should not be viewing approved ops as the end goal. Because I do not think it is inherently a better game. I think it slows the game down. And I think it makes the game less fun. To be, again, I only play approved ops. But that is because I am a certain level of into Kill Team. As anybody in my chat is also. And I do not think that we should be pointing people directly to approved ops just because tournament players play it. I think that Kill Team is probably a more fun, faster game before you've gone that far. For the majority of players. But that's a whole different story and it's impossible to measure. Right? Like, no, there's no way to get stats on that. But that's my hot take. Hot take. Do you think an EC Kill Team will come out at some point? It's an interesting one. No, I don't. There you go. But I have no reason to say no. Because you could also look at it and say, well, we've got Thousand Suns, we've got Corn. Do we? No. No, it's not coming. There you go. No, there you go. Alright, sweet. Nailed it. Figured it out for myself. Good. Even the IRL crew here play purely approved ops. Yes. I'm, again, okay. Clearly misphrased myself. I am sure that everybody plays approved ops. I do not think approved ops is actually the way that they are probably going to be having the most fun. I think EC would be cool as a mixed combat focused semi-SM demon team. That would be cool. I agree. I agree that approved ops is great at a competitive level, but casual players should be happy with the light rules and joint ops. Yes, I think that the light rules are actually really quite good. They're basically the full rules. You're only missing, what are you missing? You're only missing obscurity and like one other thing. It's pretty good. Fragment filming. Hello, we'll be watching later as I continue painting my commandos just in time for them to face the chop. Yeah, is what it is, right? But it's fine. Yeah. Do Gorbunkers not? Yeah. So Gorbunkers do count as Corn. But I was thinking about Space Marine teams, not Chaos God teams. Yeah. So why would we get EC before we've had World Eaters or Thousand Suns? Because they're not a real team, let's be honest. Or whatever the other team is. What is the other team? Nurgle. Oh, Plague Marines. We've got Plague Marines. There you go. That's the team we got. As long as the blood flows, everything's cool. True, true, true. Oh yeah, I see your point. I think the ability to focus on the tac op and play the objective gives options for bad matchups, but when I was learning, I ignored the objectives entirely to learn the basics. Sure. Sure. Don't get me wrong, I feel like I've come off absolutely slandering approved ops. Again, that is it's literally the only way I play the game. However, I know other people who have tried to get very competent people, just not really wargamers, but very competent people into playing Kill Team, and they just totally bounced off approved ops. They just hadn't, like, they just didn't want to go that deep into it, and they seemed totally fine to say, I'm good here, I'm fine. It's like, oh, you know. And these are, yeah, so I just kind of, you know, pondered the orbs about that a little bit and thought, well, why is that? They all have the mental capacity to go into approved ops. Why don't they? Yeah. So I just kind of came away with the logical answer of, well, the game's probably more fun when you don't have to bog yourself down, you know? I hope they make Deathwatch like Phobos, where you can build different lists and have multiple factions and such, since Phobos is rotating out. I also hope that. I don't know. There's so many things they could do with Deathwatch, right? So many things. But we shall see. Hopefully, at the very least, the kit will have a lot of extra bits, kind of with a bit of a design philosophy of, if you go and buy this core kit from, you know, whatever, Phobos, Reavers, Incursors, Intercessors, Assault Intercessors, whatever, then you have extra bits in the kit that will make it. But that's not how GW does models anymore. So that's not what they're going to do. But that would make sense. EC might have one of the better chances down the road for KT, just because of how much the 40k Codex is missing. That is a fair point, yes. Yeah. Both EC and... what are they called? World Eaters really don't have a very deep roster. They could both use extra teams. That's a fair point. It will probably end up being cultists if it's Slanesh, though. I do not want a cultist chaos team. Oh, 7 wounds, is it? Ooh, daring today, aren't we? Dark Angels version of AOD, yeah. Technically, we have all of those supporting Legionaries. That is true. But Legionaries are going in a moment, so that's fine. They are undivided, that is true. So they don't approve of the ops. Yes. It's a good one there, Coffee. I might have to steal that. Consider it stolen. That was my idea, actually. Yeah. Could say the same for WE, though. Yep, 100%. Okay. I've caught up with chat. Let's have a quick look at some stats, shall we? So, first things first, this is the win rate. If we take a quick jaunt, this was updated earlier today by, of course, Chris from Kill Team Stats. If you want to find this yourself, just type in Kill Team Stats Coffee. I'll show you how to do it right now. Well, that didn't open a new window. We go here. Right, up in the corner, we go Kill Team Stats Coffee. Boom. Support Chris, Kill Team Stats. It loads. We go to this. You go to all reports. Now, I tend to always look at faction performance, but you can look at the others as well. But faction performance is kind of your... That's your most basic things you're interested in. Now, this was updated earlier today, as discussed, so it does have all of this weekend's tournament data. And we had lots of tournaments this weekend, actually. Loads. So there you go. So, we have 6,000 games in this balanced data slate. So presumably this is going to reset soon. In what? 1-2 weeks time, but we get the next data slate. So these here... Timothy, you're killing me, mate. I just did that. I just told you exactly what website this is. Mate, you're murdering me. Come on, bro. Keep up, yeah? So, I'm going to continue my spiel. So this is, in essence, the actual stats right here. We have been in this current data slate for as long as we're going to have been here for. What's another week? What's another 2 weeks? We're basically done. These are the true stats, as true as they can be. So first things first, Gellerpox infected are the only people that didn't really get many games. And of course that makes sense because you cannot buy the team in any way, shape or form unless you happen to have it lying around on your local game store randomly. Cool. Well, Timothy, if you donate money to me, I will repeat what I said. There you go. It is... there's different ways to look at this. So, you can either look at all of the stats. So this is everything. This is every game played from 4 people saying, hey, let's do this, because you can do that, you know. You could just set up a BCP tournament and just say, yeah, we're playing. Just me and my 3 friends, we're just going to play a tournament. You can do that. All the way up to huge, you know, 150 people tournaments like LVO, right? This is everything. Not that we had an LVO during this balanced data state period. That's not the point, though. So, but it includes everything. All the stuff from Spain, all the stuff from Poland, all the stuff from everywhere in the world, assuming that they have gone through BCP. Because this is all data from BCP. Right. So, however, we can define things a little bit. So first things first, number of rounds. We have between 1 and 9 rounds. Now there is, we have had a kill team tournament that has done 9 rounds, but I don't think we've ever hit 10 rounds, and thank God. That would be murder. So, in general, if we were to want to look at the more, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. So numbers are good. The more the better. Okay? 6,000 games, not that many. Right? There are still going to be individuals who skew data at this level. Not always, but some. For example, if we look at games played, we go all the way to the bottom, Gellerpox infected. They've only had, in 3 months, 46 games played. If one person comes along and smashes 2 tournaments and wins all games, their numbers will rise significantly because of one person. Right? 57 games for Navy Breachers. If you can go to 2 tournaments with Navy Breachers and just win some games, you will pull them above 20%, no problem, right? These are some things. Cool, back to win rate. Right. However, so numbers, the more the better. But you also have a few issues in that actually Kill Team isn't that big of a game. So as we refine our data set to go to 4 games plus and 24 plus players, which is really kind of the minimum you want, to be honest, the data becomes very inaccurate and heavily skewed. So why would we be looking at 4 rounds? The reason we look at 4 rounds instead of 1, 2, 3 is because of all games are played Swiss. Swiss means that it's entirely random, and then winners face winners, losers face losers. And therefore, Swiss tournament pairings don't really show any sort of accuracy until you get to about 4 games. Before that, it's kind of all random. So the fact that you could have one Warp Coven player smash through 3 games, it kind of doesn't mean anything. They could just be a good player that played against 3 bad players, right? So that's why you really want to start looking at 4 rounds plus, because then that 4th round is really when you start to have kind of weeded out the good players and the bad players, and suddenly you're getting genuine matchups, and you've almost created an internal seeding for your tournament. Just you've done it through, you know, Swissing instead of seeding, if you will. We then get to number of players. So again, here hypothetically, you could have what, 6 players, but you could just do you could do a 7-round tournament if you want. Like, nothing stops you from doing that in BCP. You can have 4 players and do an 8-round tournament, if you wanted, right? I'm not saying that has not happened, to be clear, but you could. So obviously in that instance, if you were to keep playing against the same players again and again like that, you would get this one warp coven player beating these 3 teams specifically over and over again, brutally. But it doesn't actually mean that warp coven is good into those players or those teams. But because it was a weird tournament, you got some unreliable data. And you didn't have a chance for the warp coven to play against other teams. So you really want to put your total players to about 24. That's kind of what I would consider to be the minimum number. So 4 rounds, 24 players. We've gone from 6,000 to, no, sorry, how many? Yeah, 6,200 games to 1,900 games. 1,900 games, look at how many of these teams are now grayed out. Now, this is arbitrary graying, to be clear. It just means they haven't had 50 games played. But it's pretty rough. Which obviously explains why Battle Clade are grayed out. Because they've only just, they're a new team, right? But they've had 14 games played. 1-4. Okay. And where are Raveners? Down here at 48% win rate, they've had 25 games played. So, you know, suddenly, although we've set really good data sets to draw from, these are nice accurate data sets that will actually tell us things about the matchups, we don't have enough tournaments that are 4 round plus and 24 player plus. So we have very inaccurate data that can be very heavily skewed. So Brood Brothers being at the top is probably true, because anybody that wants to go to one of these tournaments is going to take this team, I guess. And it's a little bit of again, a little bit of a stats Aurora, Jesus Christ, what is the word? I can't figure out how many B's and R's to put in there. Ouroboros, is that it? An Ouroboros. Jesus Christ. I ain't getting no pussy tonight with these fucking pronunciation skills. Jesus. So, these are the issues that we face as kill teamers. When we get to good stat levels, we don't have enough games played. So, for example, a really good one is, of course, where have the warp coven fallen to? I'll find them, don't worry. Are they off the screen? Yes. So at top tournaments, at these really good top tournaments, warp coven are only 47% win rate. So if you go to one of these massive tournaments, 47%. If you go to a normal tournament, 62% win rate. What does that tell us? I don't know. I did say at the beginning of the stream, I don't make points in these videos. That's not what they're for. I'm going to catch up with chat. I've always wanted to play Kill Team for fun. Not really for competitive. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Kill Team can be a really fun game. In my opinion, I think that the online community for Kill Team has become very sweaty. That turns me off of it somewhat. But it's the nature of the game. It's how the game is. With how lethal it is, you kind of have to be a sweat. But also, if you're just into the hobby, or you're just into the lore, well, you just be into 40k. So, inevitably, the online discourse does tend to the sweat for Kill Team. Which I have become less and less of a sweat as time has progressed. Same here. Just playing a few rounds with friends, but I have like 14 kill teams already after less than a year. That's the way to do it. You just like collecting teams. That's great. They are some very cool models. That might be my narrative event. Just 4 dudes hanging out. Just 4 dudes being dudes, dude. Dude. Why do you think Warp Coven went to the top again? Because they're a really good team. That is really strong. And the only way you're beating Warp Coven is if you know exactly what they do and you've practiced into them a hell of a lot of times. It's a very good team. Very strong. Hence why, presumably, when you get to the higher echelons of play, as we saw there, people know how to beat them because people have had to play into them. Yeah. But very clearly, if you want your absolute best chance of winning a game, just play Warp Coven. Playing less than a year, or to have like 5 teams, kind of want exaction. And I'm like, is that too many teams? No, Uncle Sanguine, continue. This is like in 40k with my Warp Meld Pact. 3 people played them for a season and got 7% win rate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Enjoyed the nerf. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that does happen. That does happen. I feel like after experiencing other teams, I never play my AOD anymore because they're just kind of boring. They are... Yes. They are a simpler team than most others. That is for sure, but that's by design. They are the starter team, you know? Or you'd have one great Kassakin player. Yeah. Good luck, Kassakin. Where are they? I don't even know. They must be at the bottom, right? Yep. 3rd from the bottom. Great. Best of the best. Unaugmented humans. Best. No, nice. Ouroboros. Ouroboros. Bros. Okay, alright, thanks for that, guys. Cleared that right up. The Stats Erebus. Yeah, it's a fun one. Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. I don't know either. Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows, mate. Nobody knows. Is there a link to this power by report? People are testing me. Okay. I'm gonna do it to you one more time, alright? Now that we're all here, now that I've given you the stats goodness, here's what you do. You go to Google. So we kill team stats coffee. You click the first link. You support Chris. Kill team stats. You scroll to all reports. You then look at the report you want, which for me is faction performance. There you go. Bam. Smashed it. That's how you do it. Simple. Simps. Simps. I definitely feel like the community became super sweaty where I'm at. Interesting. Where are you at? I wish I could say I'm just a Katie fun enjoy, but no, I like to win. Bad. Yeah. Yeah. What did I just press? Oh, right, that one. Yeah, sure, why not? Yes. It's a tough one, you know. Like it's the classic. Hey, yeah, I play. I like to play narrative games, but my narrative is that I win. Oh, okay, all right, cool. Gamer Geek Jason, $5. You're too kind, Gamer Geek Jason. Thank you so much. Make sure to spread some of that love with Chris from Kill Team Stats. He's the guy that does all the work. I just get to look at some bar graphs. However, I shall Hydratus Dominatus. Thank you so much, sir. Too generous. Hypothesis. Good. I hope that we use the Socratic method for this, sir. Warp Coven win rate discrepancies because they just pull shit out of their arse, which bamboozles anyone that has yes. Yes. I agree. That is them. However, you mentioned Blades of Cain, but Blades of Cain do not fall nearly as far as Warp Coven. Warp Coven to the bottom, sir. Blades of Cain only drop like 3 or 4 places. Yeah, I convinced a friend of mine to try it out. Now he's playing his 3rd team. Another friend has 4,000 points in Necrons and wants to play Kill Team with. Rock on. Do it. UK Games Expo 26. Mate, I can't plan my life 2 weeks ahead. So hold fire on that one. It depends who decides to exhibit there. A lot of the companies that I follow didn't go to 2025, like Steamforged Games, GW. So don't know, play it by ear. I want to go, but I don't know if I can be bothered if my companies aren't there, you know? Andy. How's this for a proxy for Blades of Cain? Battle Sister with Chainsword, and a Repentia or a Zephyr. Sounds great. Big fan. Yeah, why not? I see no issues. I am going to read that again though. Battle Sister, that would have the gun. Battle Sister with Chainsword, that would be your Scorpion. And then Repentia would be your Banshee. Yeah, okay. I'm down. I'm down to clown. Sounds good. I seen somewhere that Chaos Cult is S tier. Is that still true since Warp Coven is leaving? Would Chaos be a better team to build? Chaos Cult does well in certain places with certain players. And they are, you know, pulling pretty well in the stats at the moment. As maybe I'm wrong, but it definitely feels like it was Nick Collins, the guy that does Crossfire Games, who really pushed Chaos Cult this edition after they got their buff. And he kind of said, hey, look what they can do. And sure enough, they did. And then I think because he goes to so many tournaments himself, he kind of brought their win rate up. And then everybody had to pay attention. Like, okay, now I have to learn how to beat Chaos Cults. So I don't really know how they play. I've played into them one time. Brewster's Minions beat my Brood Coven with them. But I didn't know how I was learning Brood Coven. It's the first and only game I played with them. So, you know. But yeah. All things considered, if you're just looking at Kill Team, then yeah, you should probably go Chaos Cults. Personally, I don't like how they play. I would prefer Warp Coven myself. But that's me, right? We all have to make our own decisions in life. We all have to choose which path to walk down when the fork in the road hits us. But for real, just say Ouroboros and no one will blink an eye. Yes, I should have just picked away and said it confidently. I agree. Boys, Idaho. We have a group of about 30. Oh, it's a great little team. Kill Team enjoys and some drop in outs at every event. It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, sure. I mean, hey, if you like it getting sweaty, great. If you don't, that's a real issue. Don't know how to deal with it. How do we view these stats for ourselves? Guilty again. I was actually really hoping that somebody would ask me that. Thank you. No. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. That's for sure. By the way, thanks for your rule videos and box reviews. I greet from Germany. Hello to Germany. Danke. Our local LGS is super casual and it's great. Love to hear it. Love to hear that there's the casual bastions of kill teamers out there. Occasionally a sweaty guy will come and it's no super less fun. Can you describe the difference for me, Big Dylan 79? What is the actual difference? Right? Define it. I shall wait. I won't really. I'll keep going. R, Rob, or Ross? Love to get some classic advice from Red Dwarf. Recently read the novel of Red Dwarf, the first one, on Tabletop Impulse's suggestion. Good. Enjoyed it. It's literally just the first season of Red Dwarf, but it was good. It was quite fun. Quite fun. At some point, if I want to, I may indeed read the second. Our local LGS, I've read that. Mandrakes are so underrated. They look awesome. Mandrakes are shockingly low in win rate. I agree. I don't know why. I think Mandrakes are really cool. I agree with you. I cannot play Mandrakes because my friend plays them. So he gets to play them. I don't get to play Mandrakes. But yeah, they are good. Poor Breaches, yeah, they've got a rough. They've got it rough. Hello to Toondar. But Jarrow says, yeah, my local group consists of 5 local shops spread out around our main cities, have a league going. It's super cool to have an organised system to get games in and keep track of progress. Sounds awesome. I assume that, well, you can. There are some leagues that are set up on BCP, so those stats will go towards these stats. Our solution to the sweat has been getting people into Warcry. Dead game, unfortunately. Because otherwise, yeah, like Warcry is the opposite of Kill Team, pretty much. So it's a very good idea. I think that it's a real shame that they've dropped Warcry, if I'm honest. Because I've always said it, like I've never been a Warcrier myself, but I do think that Warcry was a significantly better start and introduction to wargaming than Kill Team has ever been. Bit of a shame. Speaking of pronunciation, fun stuff, we pronounce that Boise for boys. Well, fair enough. Boise. Yeah. You know, I went with boys because it's spelt boys, but I can understand why you would also pronounce it incorrectly. That's fair too. That's fair too. Are Raveners better with or without the warrior? Without, you never take the warrior. Mandrake's my main. Love them. Mandrakes are awesome. 100%. They're great. More of a Corsair kind of guy. Corsairs are good too. And they are definitely more elfy than Mandrakes. Can't argue with that. But I always blame my dice because I'm a casual. I blame my dice every time. So when I shoot somebody with Mandrakes, the dice are always good. If they roll 5s and 6s, then they have failed the roll. So I feel good because they failed and I've won. But if they roll 1s and 2s, I still feel good because it means their dice aren't cheating. That's genuinely why I like Mandrakes. Because the dice are always good. Even if I get smashed. How OP broken are exaction? Double parry my verses. Some might say that, Kill Team Ken. Let's look at the stats, shall we? Where are exaction? 47% win rate. Seems below average to me. But of course we know they're actually doing pretty solidly. Pretty high on people's tier list. How are they doing if we collaborate and listen? Oh, no, they've gone down. Oh, boy. 42%. That is awkward. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty awkward. I would feel awkward if I had recently lost to them. That's for sure. That's for sure. But I haven't, so it's fine for me. Maybe other people in chat feel shamed by their performance. Mandrakes are easily one of the teams that would narratively have mirror matches. That is true. Yes. No, don't say that they talked about it once in an article recently. Yeah, no, it's super dead. Super dead. I know. I know. I wish it wasn't. Yeah, Sanctifiers turned me off for a while. Then I started collecting Orcs and Space Wolves to get into Big 40k lol. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. I like me some Orcs in Big 40k. With so few Battlefield games played since I lost while going to Breaches, did I create a new... yes. Yes, you did. Because... where are they? Oh, I can't find them. Here we go. There's only been 111 games played. So if just a few people... if like 10 people lose with them, that's, you know, yeah, 30, that's a third of the losses. Which is roughly what happened there. So yeah, they're not having a good time. But that makes sense because they're a relatively complex team. I think the difference is losing against a sweat is not fun, whereas losing against another person, they just have fun, it's still light-hearted and chill. If you beat the sweat, they get kind of pouty, making that less fun too. But they might just beat this guy, to be fair. No, I definitely don't like losing as well. I get tilted so easily. For sure, for sure. So I can definitely see that being a thing. I don't need to blame my dice. I know my strategy is terrible 90% of the time. That is also fair. If you're not blaming your dice, are you even trying to win? Exactly. The dice lost it for me. I mean, I didn't roll 4 6s. What? Yes. Tim gets it. Warcry was super underrated. Very fun system with tons of cool stuff. Way better mods on average than KT. I don't think it was underrated. I think a lot of people liked it. But it just isn't for the 40k juggernaut. Like, you know, Kill Team's a good game, but also a lot of 40k players boosted the hell out of those sales because they wanted those models. We just have to accept that. I think Warcry's mistake is probably... there's many mistakes. But from a business perspective, you could play Warcry without ever purchasing anything Warcry, and that is then incredibly hard to track. Like, how do you track that? How do you track that Warcry is successful? It's a casual game, so the tournaments aren't going to be packed. And you literally never, ever have to buy any Warcry product. How can the person that makes it at GW go to their manager and say, hey, look, it's doing well. I want to keep making it. It's like, okay, well, where? How? And they could be like, oh, well, literally every Age of Sigmar player plays Warcry as well. It's like, oh, okay, but they, you know, they haven't bought Warcry models, so we literally don't know that. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Dead game. It's a bit of a pickle. Weren't AOD supposed to be OP? They are, Casper. The fact that their win rate is 40% is anecdotal at best. Thank you. Outrageous. Thought the new Dark Angels kill team looked cool at first, but I'm thinking I'll just convert some. Yeah, Sword Brethren are way cooler. They do. Yes, I've put many. I have put every what I call chapter unique unit. So, you know, Inner Circle, Sanguinary Guard, Sword Brethren onto 32 mil bases. They all fit. Even my man from Grey Knights, what's his name? With the flaming sword, he fits on a 32 as well. With a little bit of creative cutting, maybe, but you know, he fits. So everybody does. How would I buff Wrecker Crew? I think I suggested this in a previous video, but I say so much crap across so many videos. Yeah, fair play. I wouldn't remember either. But I think that you got two options. Either fighters can I don't know, probably like fighters or everybody maybe. I don't know if that fixes things. But fighters can open a door for free on Into the Dark. And anybody can spend a Wrecker point to open a door for free. So, something like that, right? Because they don't need buffs outside of it. New DA team has managed to look more generic than AOD. Yeah, it's very boring. I do like, ironically, because I think it's going to be the worst model on the team, but I do like the pose of the Reaver with Carbine. That looks quite fun. But I also laugh every time I see that a Carbine is accurate 1. So there you go. By the way, I'm still thinking about it if I made a mistake by buying an official Warhammer tie. Nope, solid. If I ever wore a tie, I would for sure go with the Warhammer tie. They're both nice and subtle patterns as well, so you can get away with it. Either my local exact play is really good or I'm really bad. Both seem unlikely. Yeah, it's weird that. Yeah. Wonder what that means. I'm curious, what is your favourite kill team right now? Pass. I have no idea. Right this second, I want to play Aquilons. There you go. That will change. Probably before I next get to the table to play a game. So, pass. Rattlings are interesting, Aquilons are interesting. I'm vaguely thinking of the Imperial Guard teams. You know, trying to up my skill a little bit with the non-elite teams. See how they handle the game, because I don't know anymore. Big Andy, speaking of the King's English when dropping KT facts. Ugh, the King's English. Can't believe we lost Lizzie so early. Damn. I'm saying I don't need to blame my dice, yet I always do when they're actually bad. Oh, I don't think there's been a single game where I have not mentioned my dice as part of the reason I lost or won normally. I tried Necrunner Can Live, but Warcry, insane. I agree, they're very strange. They must have different metrics they need to meet because Necromunda isn't by the core design studio, whereas Warcry was, I think. So yeah, I don't know. Weird. Well, that's the weird thing, is that they kept Warhammer Underworlds. Oh yeah, who knows? Well, as everybody suggests, it's because Warcry presumably hits a totally different niche that GW doesn't hit in any other way. So there are people that will buy Warcry that would never ever touch anything else from GW, whereas people that buy Warcry are probably players of the rest of GW stuff as well, if I had to guess. And maybe, I hope they don't, but maybe they think that Spearhead is the replacement, and that people that would play Warcry could play Spearhead. Don't know. You know, all speculation. We'll never know. We'll never know what's actually going on back there. But any updates on potential channel expansion into other games outside of KT, Annie? No. There you go. No clue. I'm currently working on doing one of those long-ass retrospectives for Warcraft 3. So that's taking up most of my free time. There you go. That's what's tickling my pickle at the moment. However, I always dream of doing a battle report channel, but it's so much editing and it relies on other people to be there and play the game that it's so hard to like commit to something, and I can't really give much in return to the people for them giving up their time, and it's like, what do I do, you know? So no, I am not currently able to commit to any sort of channel expansion. Oh, in a circle too, that changes things. Yes, Luke. In a circle, fit on 32 is no problem. I mean, you can't see much of the base, but they fit no problem. Are Galapox or Cultists a better team at the moment? Cultists, Chaos Cultists. Galapox are not performing well, and you cannot buy the models. So I would definitely say Chaos Cultists. Mitch Paints Mini says, playing my first doubles event this week after only 7-8 games of Kill Team, even with Jaegers. And my bud has Commandos. Hope you do well. Awesome. Great little combo there. The Jaegers and the Commandos. I think you have fun. Sounds good. Jaegers are a fun little team. I played them 2 weeks ago. +1 Bob Squig. Wreckers go to S tier. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, hello. They're getting very late. I'll be signing off imminently. Imminently. Accurate 1 is nice when you roll 1s and 2s like me. Accurate 1 is nice if you hit on 4s. Not if you hit on 3s. Variable is a weird mishmash of AOD and Phobos. We'll probably just run it over Phobos if the rules are good. Yeah, we'll have to see what their faction rules are. You know, we don't know what they are yet. They could be like mechanically, they could be very cool. 100%. Probably won't be, because they're a heroes box, which probably means they're going to be a beginner team. So I imagine they'd be quite bland. But I don't know. I don't think they will want to have made them too complicated, is all I'm saying. They'd probably be quite dull. For us pro gamers, I need to finish this. Hydratus Dominatus. Lovely. Get weighted dice, then you can never lose, unless they play mandrakes against me. In which case, I'm failing every roll. And that's the beauty of mandrakes. Yeah, how dare she not make at least 140? No, I'm not sure. Not sure on that one. Warcry got me into AOS. That's awesome. Awesome. AOS is an interesting game. Very, very different to 40k, despite them both following the same principle, like phased gameplay. Very different system. I think they take much more interesting chances, and they're doing interesting things with Age of Sigmar. Right now, although when I last had the opportunity to play either 40k or Sigmar, I went with 40k. I actually think that Sigmar is the more interesting game. But, you know, it's not 40k. So, it might have helped if the second edition of Warcry hadn't completely got it. Yes, Major Tom, as we know, is a big fan of saying that the latest edition of both Underworlds and Warcry killed the game. I don't think that's true, but then they did literally kill Warcry, so maybe it is. I don't think so, but maybe. Maybe. Neither of us have any proof either way, and we never shall, so... Just fake the bat reps, innit? Oh, yeah, the remote firing lanes, what are the chances? Yeah. So, I agree. I don't think the authenticity of a battle report is in any way required. I think whatever you're doing, it is purely a show, right? So whether or not the game happened doesn't matter. However, I would still need a second person to stand in the room. You know, like as I cut between footage of us. And that's the issue. I feel bespoke lists for Warcry like in Kill Team would help it relaunch. I think that if Warcry ever comes back, it will be much more like Kill Team in that regard when it comes to list building, but I also think that would be a huge detriment to it, because I think it's a detriment to Kill Team. But there you go. Just played my first Kill Team game last week. Any advice on a good beginner team? I did not like Vespids and Tempestus. Fair play. I assume that therefore you played either Vespids or Tempestus. You know what? I'm going to be boring. I'm going to say Angels of Death. I think Angels of Death are a great beginner kill team. Partly because you have a bit of durability to you, so you don't just get immediately punished for a poor move. But also, personally, 3 APL is so much more fun than 2 APL. Like, at some point I'll record it, whatever, I'll do it. It's on my list of videos to make. But I will go and record a, you know, why elites are great, or what my next team is. And one of my points is 3 APL is just more fun to play. There you go. Just more fun. So that's why I would suggest any Marine team. And then for beginners, Angels of Death, because they are the simplest Marine team. Hail to the King, Andy, hello, Monty the Maker, of course. A channel that everyone should go and check out. And he currently putting together a set of motion graphics on DaVinci Resolve with the pipe dream of producing a bat rep. Ooh, have fun with that. It's a lot of, if you go and look at any of my battle reports, I only ever do a rough cut. Which basically just means cutting between action points. I never put any effort into post-production. Because honestly, by the time I've done the rough cut, I'm bored. There you go. There you go. But yeah, I've always wanted to be a battle report channel because I actually don't like having to do clickbait and titles and thumbnails and all that stuff and have to think of new things to say 3 times a week. I just want to sit down and play the game. There you go. But it's not my lot in life. So fair play, fair play. 4th Ed AOS is so fun. I really hope they make 11th edition 40k more like it. I'm sure that they will pull things from Sigmar. I mean, they already took, you know, in this latest chapter approved, they took something. The underdog mechanic, you know? So, yeah, it's good. Good sign, good start. Hopefully they bring more. Play KO, then it's 40k, sure. I have a KO army, so I could. It really is a mountain to climb compared to talking head content. However, you manage to keep it fresh, hydrated, and interesting. Oh man. Well, that's the true reason I don't. Yes, goodbye, Kaz and Eddie. Thank you for joining in. I'll be signing off in a moment as well. Honestly, that's the other incredibly unmotivating thing. That Dawn of War video, you know, Dawn of War news. Right, so news first off. Everybody loves news. When there's news, there's views. And that Dawn of War video I got on Friday has been my most viewed video, like, this whole edition. and I literally just sat in front of my green screen and talked for 20 minutes. Like, what the? It's depressing, you know? However, 20-minute video versus, I mean, yeah, I think that my battle reports took about, like, I don't know, 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, something like that to do. And they get a 10th the views, you know. Don't worry, Mad Dog Hobby, Glass Half Dead will not become a battle report channel. Not to worry. The ramble shall continue on Jizzle Half Dizzle. But you know, other channels. If I ever move on to other things, it will be with a little bit more of a focus from things I've learned from GHD. Could Warcry have finally been binned and Underworlds kept so Old World could have a skirmish game? I have no interest in an Old World skirmish game, but if they want to update more time, I'll play that. Notice what I'm saying, you don't need the second person. I've never seen footage of the Mountainside lads next to the board. That is true. You know, over on Tactical Skew, I tried a narrative battle report with Raveners and Battleclade. It got terrible views, and so I shan't be doing that again. That was probably the video that I spent the most time doing anything on ever. Probably. Terrible views. So, lame. There you go. But, you know, it's something to consider. If I wanted to do it as a bit of creative expression, I'd start a new channel and I would just, you know, once a month, I'd do one of those big narrative videos, I guess. 3 APO instead of 2 gives me an extra opportunity to screw up. No, that's fine. Just move dash. Nothing. Move dash pass. Done. That's goodbye to Kaz and Eddie. Thank you. Writer YouTubers always seem to get burnt out. Yes. I've already had my burnt out phase. I stopped talking about Kill Team for like 6 months. That's why my channel is no longer the biggest Kill Team channel, and I am allowed to do my funny opening bit where I say I am the #1 Kill Team channel, because I am not. Just in case that didn't come across to anybody, I'm not the #1 Kill Team channel. That's why it's funny for me to say it. If I was the #1 Kill Team channel, then it would be very weird for me to say. It does occur to me that not everybody understands my sense of humor. And I don't know, I can only assume those people think I'm a massive dick, you know, which is pretty awkward. Which might also explain the views on my channel. Yeah. It was some great info though, and I really liked it. Thank you, Zervo. Thank you. Chris Joyce, glad to finally catch alive. With the Phobos soon to make their exit, do we think the incoming Wolf Scouts or possibly Deathwatch will come in Rock Phobos armor? I cannot imagine it is Wolf Scouts. I think that was a swing and a miss from whoever said that. I have to assume that Deathwatch will have the option to be a little bit more range focused if they so desire. We do not know what they are going to do with the Deathwatch, you know. Maybe it will be, you know, a 10-man kit, 5 with the Intercessor armor, 5 with the Phobos armor, and then like an entire sprue dedicated to Deathwatch bits that you can put on either armor. Who knows? They could do anything. They won't do that. That's too good of an idea. I sometimes think time spent on a video is inverse to its popularity. 100% tabletop impulse, yes. Rarely have I been rewarded for putting effort into a video. Unfortunately, which is very sad. I wish I was. I wish I could just put more time and effort into a video and it would get better views. That is not how it works. Oof, the audience demands slop, and it does. Have you guys seen? What are we on? We're about to finish. I'm going to show you an upcoming video idea. I'll show it to you. Where's my crap? Here it is. Here we go. Right. So I'm sure you've seen this all by now, but YouTube added this new feature, which is it AI generates topics for you to talk about based on your own videos. Unfortunately, every time I refresh this page, I get new ones. So one of these, for example, was Kill Team, how magnets changed the game, or something. I was like, sounds hilarious. So these are just funny to me. So I thought it might be amusing for me to do actual AI slop. I won't do these videos, sorry. It will be a video making fun of these videos and ideas and how terrible AI is in general. But it'll be like edited well and crap like that. So I realised there I've already said I'm going to put effort into a video. Therefore it will do poorly, sadly. But aren't these great? The best kill team army in the game right now. Yeah, people would love that. Okay. The best kill team strategies for new players. Yeah, people would love that. I agree. Kill team, building your own kill team from scratch. No. It's got a miss on that one. People don't like hobby from my channel. Kill team, Typhon versus Chaos Demons Battle Report. People would click that so fast because they want to know what the hell Chaos Demons are. But no. Dawn of War board game, is it really worth $500? I should do that because that sounds amazing because it's so wrong. Right? Right? This is hilarious. And then all I do is I hit refresh and I get all new ones. Kill team box, army or starter? Sure, okay. And what is this thumbnail? Kill team tactics, the ultimate guide to effective squad formations. Competitive kill team strategy, understanding mission objectives. Kill team, jumping rules explained. Dawn of War board game, US and Oz release. So basically, if you can't tell what it's doing, it's looking at my channel and see what has done well in the algorithm, and then it generates a new one, right? Let's see what the hell this is, because this looks hilarious. Thumbnails. And it have you not seen these, right? So it's like, it gives you it tells you, so this is how the video should start. Thinking about picking up the new kill team box, but is it better to use it as a starting point for a full army, or just to build a dedicated kill team? We break down the pros and cons so you can make the best decision for your Warhammer 40k journey. And then it gives me the outline. Standard chat GPT. Go through all of this. Mad. Anyway, look at this thumbnail. It looks amazing. And then related videos. Eons of Battle. Warhammer. Show more. Let's have a look at this. Is it going to zoom in? No. I could download it. I don't want to though. This is purely AI generated. This is not a thing. That looks like a Lego logo in the top left. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. What's that? Looks like an Underworlds box. Oh, Kill Team box best value. Let's click that. What does that do? Get thumbnails. So I have not done any of this, but I probably should. You know, like, these are, people would click these, and it's just pure slop. Pure slop. I would just follow the bullet points. And you know what? This looks like it. I'd click this thumbnail. Put some text on it. I'd click that. Value. Great. Love it. Yeah. Anyway. Right. Sorry. I'm going to catch up with chat, then I'm going to go. Crown Power, really enjoyed the battle report. I like the battle report as they are, but I prefer the non-battle report content. Sure. I get you. I love Mechanicus Flash Art, mate. Yeah, he was fun, but the audience spoke. Same here, Count Pro, but I can't. How much work went into for little reward? Yeah, 0 reward. Yeah. Well, number one channel, your info has been valuable and appreciated. Thank you, Chris. I've literally never heard of any other kill team channel. There are no others. It's just me and this AI slop. We're the only kill teamers out there. It's kind of the British humour that makes this my first choice kill team channel. I like that you phrase it British humour because I don't make jokes. I just accidentally say things sometimes, you know? And here we are. No humour here. What is this? Yeah, it's crazy. AI is insane. Jumping rules explained, yeah. Yeah. It's come up with that twice now. Which is interesting. Maybe I should do jumping rules explained. Yes, yeah, it is just you, Placido. You would like me on retainer to just do all of these AI ideas, right? And I should. Building a Tyranid kill team from hive to tabletop. That's a good title. That's good. How to build and paint the new kill team models. Bit generic. Kill team, beyond the core rules, advanced tactics explained. That's not bad. The most OP kill team units in 9th edition. It missed a little bit with that. But I get it. I can modify that myself. Oh, 10 things you're doing wrong in kill team. That's a good one. People love to click on the negative. So they see the negative. They see the negging. But they'll also click it because they know they're going to get info. That's a good one. So out of this generation, 2 of those are usable. Which is actually not bad. And then because I'm really bad at YouTube, I would actually go in and I would read the hook. Because as annoying as it is, I am terrible at doing a hook. So I should genuinely read these hooks, right? Are you tired of Oh, so I can do an intriguing question or a shocking statement. Intriguing question. Are you tired of losing in kill team? You're probably making these 10 common mistakes. Find out what they are and how to fix them to dominate the tabletop. Shocking statement. You're probably doing everything wrong in kill team. From your tactics to your team composition, there's a lot to be improved. Let's fix. That sounds way better. Like just insult, insult, insult. Every sentence should insult the viewer. Neg them until they give me money. And then just slap me in the fucking face with my dick. I assume that's what this says. Oh, it's even giving me the points. The mistakes you're making in kill team. Okay. Understanding kill team objectives. Positioning and deployment. Choosing the right tactics and abilities. Command and control, obviously. Conclusion, kill team mastery. There you go. Jesus. Anyway, right, sorry, I'm trying to catch up with chat and then go. Wilson is glad to hear it, Dance. The Lego logo, yeah, that's fine, that could stay. That's just good AI. Definitely trust AI to write your legal brief. What cost? Yeah, sure. I can't write it myself. So much of what YouTube recommends is sadly, a lot of it is, yeah, I agree. And it's incredibly depressing. We need the fortnightly AI slot video. The British Humor 2. Hit the like, folks. Don't make jokes. Right. Patron bonus video. All AI prompts and intro lines. Yeah, sure. I need jumping rules and an easy 30-minute Ravener video showing how to win. Yeah, fair. 9th edition, bro. The audience demands backported goremongers. What do we touch kill teams hard? Just kidding. This. Yeah. So, there you go. So the AI video I was going to do was just going to be me saying, look, isn't this funny? And then, depending on the prompts, I would also do all of them live. So like, you know, in a sentence, right? So building a Tyranid kill team from high, I can't do that because that's hobby. Ignore that. How to build and paint, that's hobby as well. Kill team beyond the core rules, I can't explain that. Right, let's try again. Let's refresh once and then I'm going. Because this is comedy gold. And that's what I was thinking. I was just going to show the feature and then dick around for 8 minutes, basically. Best new Tyranid kill team tactics. Yeah. Make sure you burrow so that you have balance and then double charge the enemy and you win. Kill team, the new meta for Tyranids. That's the same thing. The best kill team units, an in-depth analysis. In-depth? Elites. Are the new Space Marines really that good? Yes. Duh. Dawn of War board game, a deep dive into the rules. I do that. If I had the box, I'd do that, but I don't. So that's an issue. So there you go. These are just really... Oh, should we spark an idea? Try theme and audience, like fitness for beginners. What should we do? Kill team for sweat lords. What do you think that's going to get us? Get suggestions. Oh, no. Okay, didn't like that. That's a bit of a shame. Oh, is it going to be a weird thing where for... Does it not know what sweat lords is? Or... Now this could be something. Okay, just didn't understand what sweat lords was. I had to break that apart. Okay. Oh, okay. Kill team for sweat lords. Winning with underdog factions. Ah, shit, I click it. I click that. Yep. Kill team for sweat lords. Meta breaking loadouts. If kill team had loadouts, I'd click it. Yeah. Kill team for sweat lords. Best commanders. So this is drawing back to kill team 2018, basically. Kill team for sweat lords. The ultimate tournament prep guide. How to counter common tactics. With a thumbnail that couldn't load. I'm intrigued. Guys, do I need to start a kill team for sweat lords channel? I mean, if Cyrek can do a video saying how to be a good opponent, I can do a video about how to be a sweat lord, right? Like, that's comedy gold, right? Easy. This is just the back of an Eldar box. That's very strange. Oh yeah, related videos. There you go. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Sweat lords, right? Sweat lord slayer. Kill team counter tactics guide. The ultimate kill team counter guide for sweat lords. Kill team sweat lords countering the meta. I'm just saying, guys. I would click on these. I would click on these. Because sweat lord is a funny thing. So the fact that... So to me, I'm looking at these with the bright thumbnail and immediately kind of insulting in the title with the term sweat lord. I assume these are going to be funny, fast-paced, edited videos. They just hit me with some info, they're vaguely amusing, and I learn as I go. If there was a channel that did this, I'd be hyped every time they released, right? Not me, the way I do it, right, where I sit down and slowly ramble for 40 minutes. No, but like an actual well-edited video that was kill team for sweat lords X, kill team for sweat lords Y. I'd be like, yeah, sweet, let's watch the next one. Yes, yeah, indeed. Right. It's less incendiary than I thought it might be after seeing that great replacement 40k vid. No, so that's a different place on here. That's a different thing. God, I don't even know how to get to that. I think it's analytics. Trends. There you go. So that's the same thing as last time. I've never used trends. Again, these are tools that YouTube gives me that I do not use. Right? So, what would I search for? Tabletop wargame for beginners. What does that give me? Learn bolt action in 10 minutes. Best wargames to start with. How to play a tabletop wargame. Top 10 wargame. That was okay. That was quite dull. That was quite dull. How to make a tabletop game. How to make your own TTO. Yeah, I'm bored of this now. I think the AI is fun, more fun. This is more depressing, you know. The Dawn of War board game better have some deep rules for that $500 price tag. For that price, you should have to make your own rules, because then it'll always be the perfect game for you. Howdy, I'm here late. Found a copy of the Typhon FGS that no one knew about and snagged it. Well done, Anthony. Well done. I'm finishing. I've already gone over time, so I'm finishing, but welcome. Torrent Prep Guide 1 ain't bad. Right? I would click many of these videos, or those videos, not these ones. These ones are terrible. The Torrent Prep Guide ain't bad. Wait, Wilshire wants to tell people. Have you not seen that one? moving on. The funny insult is a good hook. One of my favourite guys is called Why You Suck. Yes. So I haven't seen that for Total Warhammer, but I've seen somebody does it for 40k. You know, Why You Suck at Something it's a good title. People like to know why they suck at things because they do suck at things. You know, it grabs them by the balls. Oh yeah, get some smash cut zoom editing. Oh yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Has to be that. Basically, if you know the what's he called? The VTuber. I'm not a VTuber guy myself. If you know the VTuber, Paul is bad at stuff. Yes, he's a VTuber. Despite not being an anime weeb, VTube, he's a VTuber. He, I think, recently did an AI video. At least I saw the thumbnail come up, and I assume it is that. I assume it is him looking through his own AI suggestions and making fun of it. I haven't watched the video. I normally do watch his stuff, but I didn't watch that one yet. I more prefer his tournament reviews. But basically, I'm going to do that. But he does that smash cut zoomer editing on all of his stuff. Yeah, he's a PNG tuber. Yeah, well, that's still a VTuber. That's still a VTuber. Anyway, there you go. So don't forget to go to this Kill Team Stats video. Nobody knows how to get there. That's fine. It's all good. Not to worry. It's what it is. Everybody, thank you so much for staying till the end of the stream. Hopefully, you have enjoyed my presence. And I shall see you with a video on Wednesday. I don't know which one. My patrons have already seen it. I'm going to set one of the ones they've seen live. Don't know which one. And I will see you on Friday. Maybe live? Don't know. Otherwise, with a recap after they finished their presentation. And I'll just go back over it. Yeah. So, alright. Thank you very much, everybody. If you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. Wow, wasn't that so wholesome? Truly, the wholesomeness knows no bounds in the world of Glass Half Dead. Remember to stay hydrated. Hydratus Dominatus. Goodbye.